everybody. Right, it's quite scary. There's 10 days left to go to the marathon. And I thought I'd review what I've learnt over the last, 4 months since I started training, which, as everybody knows, I basically started about just before Christmas with my first 5-mile run, getting my body going back to it. And I've learned a few lessons, and I thought I'd just share with them. The first lesson is to train for a marathon isn't just about running, which seems really weird to me at the time. It's about listening to your body. It's about listening to other people. It's about understanding. To be successful, in that case, my case of being successful will be to finish the marathon. And you need to have rest days. Your body needs that. So I've also learnt to listen to my body. Now, what was really strange is before I started, I followed a very strict keto lifestyle because that's what kept my weight down. But as I've talked about before, my PT said you can't do it. You can't run a marathon unless you've got the right carbs inside your body. And she convinced me I had to change what I ate, so that I had to have much more carbs every day. I now start the day with a bowl of porridge. And if I go for a long run, it is overnight oats, big portion of that. And that gives me the carbs I need to run about 10 miles. And then when I'm running, I have oat flapjacks and all sorts of weird and wonderfuls that allow me to have the additional carbs I need to keep going. But what is fascinating is on the days that I'm having my rest day, and I can't run every day. In fact, when you listen to the professional runners, they all talk about you don't run every day. You have rest days. And those rest days, I suddenly realised I was becoming ravenous around about 11 o'clock in the morning. And I didn't know what to do. And I spoke to Becky, my PT, who's my font of all knowledge. And she said, don't worry, it's natural. Your body is now craving what you've burnt. So I've learned, we went through everything and discovered what snacks I should be eating when I'm hungry and what I should eat, and obviously what to avoid. And what has fascinated me, I'm eating far more than I ever did. Prior to that, I'm having carbs, which I always felt were wrong. I'm having nuts, they always seem to sit in my gut. All sorts of weird and wonderful things like that. But I've lost, since the beginning of the year, I've lost probably about 8 pounds. I thought I'd lose a lot more, actually. I thought I'd probably lose more than a stone, but I've lost about 8 pounds. But it's the inches that I've lost. It's fascinating for me. Apparently, I've developed a bit of a six-pack. I can't see it, but people look at me and go, God, you've got a six-pack, which is quite interesting. I haven't had one of those since I was in my teens. According to my wife, my bum's disappeared. Very strange, that one. Obviously, my clothes fit better, and I feel healthier. And I had to have my yearly bloods done. And since changing the diet to training, etc., my blood sugars, which is what everyone gets very worried about, have dropped to 5.3, as has my cholesterol. So the doctors are really happy. Now, previously, I would have been very concerned because my BMI is still high. According to all the charts, I'm clinically obese because I'm in that horrible stage. But they're not worried about it because I've now become very, very fit. So the positives that come out of this is I have improved my body. Everything feels good. I get good sleep. I drink lots of water. I have a healthy diet, and I have no fears about running 26.2 miles and being hungry because I know what I need to do. We have it all planned out. However, for every positive, there are negatives. Now, for me, the negatives have been injury. Now, I don't care who you are. If you're running sort of miles that we're training to run the marathon, you're going to get injured. And I've become friendly with people who can't run this year's marathon because of various issues. Now, mine has spread into minor and to what could have been a major. First were my knees. Now, ever since I was a teenager, I've had problems with my knees. It would have been called Osteoschlatters or Cinderglasen had they been identified at the time that way. They thought there's cartilage problems. So I noticed my knees would begin to be uncomfortable. Sometimes they would jar a bit. So I invested in a pair of knee sleeves from Amazon. They're not expensive, and they keep the knees supported. So I won't train, at least on my left one, which is definitely weaker than the right. I will never train without the sleeves on, and that supports it. But the main issue has been my back. Now, as everyone will tell you, we put our body, when we run, we put an immense pressure through our body, thinking up to 10 times our body weight every time we press our foot down. Through the ankles, through the knees, through the back, etc. So the back, in my case, my back is playing a problem. Now, I learned about stretching, that was great. And all of a sudden I began to get, and I still get, IT band issues, which directly relates to the back. So whilst I have been stretching and improving it, that's great. I've managed 20 miles the other day. More about that in a minute. I've suddenly realised the other day that I was in a lot of problems with my back after that 20-mile run. And I've actually got to go and see a physio because tweak something in it and he'll get me fit, because I'm running the marathon whatever happens, regardless of the effect. But I've had to learn to listen to my body, and this is called the tapering period. And during this period, you're not supposed to be running, which is fortunate. So I've been walking, swimming, stretching a couple of times a day, getting on the spin bike, things to keep me going. You can't suddenly stop. So, have I enjoyed the whole period of training for this marathon? Yep. Loved every moment of it, pain or no pain, the achievements, the sort of personal bests that I've achieved for myself, the mileage that I can now run. Will I do the marathon again? I'll get back to you on that one. I have no idea. Beard appears to be a bonus. Everyone seems to like it, so that will probably stay. Who knows? Anyway, be well. I'll speak soon. Bye-bye.